Hey everybody, and welcome to the Gaily review. Today I am going out of order. I did the Barbra Streisand album, the second Barbra Streisand album, and now I am going to jump about 10 years ahead of time and I'm going to review Butterfly. See? Butterfly. Barbra likes to be literal. And it's a great gatefold album with pictures of Barbra inside. She's wearing a little butterfly necklace, I do believe. And great artwork of her in the back, which should have been the front, if you ask me. First off, let me apologize for my hair. It's the days of the corona, and I can't get a haircut anywhere. I'm in California. Nothing really is open. So this is going to have to do for now. I'm not wearing the hat. I wear a hat in every single video, and I'm not going to do it this time. Okay, guys, so we're reviewing Butterfly. Before we jump into Butterfly, I ask you once again to please like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications of future videos coming out. Not only do I review Streisand albums and other albums in the future, and CDs and such, movies maybe, but also fast food items, supermarket items, anything I can think of. I even just recently did one on surgery I recently had. So if you are going to ever have surgery, I hope you don't, unless it's elective and you want to, check that out. All right, moving on with Butterfly, 1974. This is during a time when Barbra was highly influenced by her boyfriend, John Peters, who made some questionable, speaking of hair, this is a good time actually to have this hair, questionable hair choices for Barbra. He was responsible for that really short butch cut for Pete's sake, for Pete's sake I should say, and I wasn't crazy about that. He was responsible for the curly hair, the perm hair in Star is Born, which personally I wish she had had it long like she did the Forum type hair when she did live at the Forum, like long and straight, like What's Up Doc-ish. I think that would have been a little more hip, but it worked on Barbra. He was responsible for what has been said Barbra's least favorite album, and what hasn't been said, one of David's favorite albums, Butterfly. I like this album. And I find it, I don't know if you guys as fans, or you guys as new fans, or you guys as just people who are curious to see what I'm talking about, agree, but I always seem to find myself liking the stuff that Barbra wasn't crazy about more. And it's not because she wasn't crazy about it, it just happens like that. Like Funny Lady is one of my favorite movies, and it's one of her least favorite. Butterfly is one of my favorite albums, and I believe it is her least favorite. I just find myself liking the stuff she doesn't really like. So Butterfly is sort of like hip Barbra, if you will. You know, Stony End Barbra, What About Today Barbra, Barbra Jones Streisand Barbra, but a little even hippier. You know what I mean. The first song on it is Love in the Afternoon. Love in the Afternoon, and I often talk about when I do reviews on Barbra albums, you know, because I liked her since I was, 13 years old. And I never, I didn't understand at that age double meanings and double entendres and all that kind of stuff. All I can say is listen to the lyrics of this song, Love in the Afternoon. And if you don't get what I'm telling you, I'll quote a line. I'm not going to sing it because allergies again. But I'll quote a line, and maybe you can figure it out. Deep in my soul, I could feel a quiver. Then he went down and found that old sweet river. All right, just bask in that. Think about that for a minute, and then I'll leave it at that. But anyway, I don't even know if Barbra knew what she was singing about, to be perfectly honest with you. I think John sort of just slipped it under the door to her and said, sing it. It's about going down to the river and watching the ships roll in or whatever. The clouds roll in, the ships roll out, whatever. But yeah, Love in the Afternoon. Barbra is talking about some things there. Okay, the next song, I'm not gonna dwell on it too much. The next song on there is is oh, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned to you guys, this is a test, I don't know if a promo copy, I guess you would call it, not a test copy, but a promo copy. And it's also, this one is the quadraphonic version, which is different. It has different tracks. Barbra did a few quadraphonic albums. I'll talk about them when I get to them. Most of them have alternate tracks, and they're not necessarily great tracks. They're the tracks Barbra recorded that she didn't use, and then when they went to release the quadraphonic versions of these albums, they just sort of willy-nilly pulled out tracks that she had recorded without clearing it through her or anybody, really. It just came out, and I like different versions of things. To me, it's great, but you can see that it's kind of, the tracks are very often inferior to the ones that were actually used in the stereo and mono versions, okay? I don't even know if there was a mono version in the 70s, but you know what I mean. But anyway, interesting track, interesting in the fact that either you love it or hate it tracks, and not like Step in the Right Direction from Emotion, which everybody just hates, but this song is called Guava Jelly, and it's another sexual song. Rub it on my belly like guava jelly. And she's very sensuous, because Barbra can be very sensuous. If you don't think she can, watch The Way We Were, and you'll see a very sensuous Barbra. But anyways, Guava Jelly is one I love. It's like a reggae song. It's not Barbra-ish at all. It's like a song you would never think Barbra would ever record, but she did. And I don't care if you don't like it, because I love it. I think it's a great song. I think it's great to step out of your comfort zone, and she did. And she's very hip, and I like it. The third song on the album is Grandma's Hands, and I don't like it. Grandma's Hands is like a gospel number, and how Grandma's hands used to clap in church on Sunday morning, and all these things that Grandma's hands did, and now Grandma's dead, and she misses her grandma and her grandma's hands. And I'm not saying she doesn't sound great here, because of course she sounds great. She's Barbra, and she always sounds great as far as I'm concerned, but this song just doesn't do it for me. It's a very specific taste kind of a song, and I just didn't, it wasn't my taste. I'll put it that way. Next song on the album, a Carpenter song, I Won't Last a Day Without You. And I think she did a good job with it. I think that she's done Carpenter songs before, or some came out just for the record and on the Burt Bacharach show. And she does her own little twist on it. She Barbra-izes it, as I've said before. And I think it's not better than the Carpenter's version, but it's not worse than either, if you know what I mean. I think it's just up to par with it, and it really depends on what version you like. I like them both. The last track on side 1, and if you're under the age of 30, side 1 means back in the day of a record. In a record, you would have 2 sides, and this would be the last track on side 1. God, I'm old. The last track on side 1 is Jubilation. It's another gospel type song. Not my thing. She sounds really well. She sounds good. Background singers sound good. Guy with a really deep voice sounds good. Not one I would go back to, regularly. Going into side 2 of the record album, first track, side 2, Follow Me, is a song called Simple Man. Now, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes my mind wanders and I think of the craziest things. And when I think about Simple Man, and I could be wrong, and if I am wrong, if you think of another one, let me know in the comments below, but it's one of the very few, if not the only, the title of the song isn't mentioned in the song. In other words, she never says Simple Man in the song, but it's called Simple Man, but it's about her being a simple girl. It's kind of got an Asian feel to it with the music in the background, to me anyways. It's beautiful. It's a really beautiful song. It really moves me. I like it. I say I like it a lot, I know, but lack of any other word, I like it. It's good. Simple Man. Next song is Life on Mars. It's a David Bowie song. Now, major David Bowie fans are not going to like this song, and they don't. I've talked to a few. It's sort of sexist. A few of them said that only a guy really should sing this song. I don't know why. It's about being, life on Mars. Why can't a woman wonder if there's life on Mars? Or maybe they just think the vocals are more suited for a man. But to me, I like both versions because I'm a huge David Bowie fan as well. And I think she took it and she did it very different. The only thing I will say about Life on Mars is Barbara's British accent. She put on the David Bowie's accent, which I thought, she didn't have to do that, but I guess she was having an on a clear day moment and went to the accent. Since I Don't Have You starts off a very slow, quiet song, and then it gets very rock, very... it's good. It's not like any other version of Since I Don't Have You that I've ever heard. It's sad, but she's a little angry, and she's getting her emotions across. It works. It's a good song. Don't get this confused with Since I Fell For You, which is on another album, which is probably, in my opinion, and when I get to it, I will tell you, my favorite song vocally of hers, probably ever. So not the same song. Same sentiment, not same song. Crying Time, she also sang on her musical instruments TV show / album with Ray Charles. On this version, on the album, it's just her and backup singers, and I hated this song when I was a kid, and I'll tell you why I hated this song when I was a kid. My brother, who teased me all the time because I cried all the time, used to play this song to tease me even more, to make me cry even more. So it has a lot of childhood issues with me, but I have since grown, and I have since matured, and now I can say this is a great song, and I like the Ray Charles version, but I like this version better. And finally, Let the Good Times Roll. I'm going to say right in the middle on this one. I like it in the middle. I like it. It's got a lot of funk to it. It's got a lot of sort of gospel, sort of rock, sort of laid back, kind of funky thing. And you can kind of get lost in this song. Like to me, you can kind of just get lost in it. And you're not really focusing on her vocals as much as just focusing on the beat, on the rhythm, in the music, in the background singers, and her, of course, but not all just her as one. You're focusing kind of on everything because it's got a lot going on with it. This album I will probably rate a 9 out of 10. Like I said, it's one of my favorites. The only reason it didn't get a 10 out of 10 is Grandma's Hands, probably. I don't know. A couple of the tracks on here I could have lived without. I wish she had used a couple of the songs that she did record for this one that she never used on Broadway. They say the neon lights are bright on Broadway. She recorded that for this, never used it. And I don't even know if she recorded it or if she just has demos of herself trying to work out the song, And then she also was originally going to do Everything Must Change, which she ended up using in Higher Ground years later. Her voice was much higher then, and I've heard the rehearsals of that as well. But, I wish she had used those in place of a couple of the other songs. What can you do? So Butterfly was released in October of 1974. It debuted on Billboard charts in November of '74. Its peak chart position was number 13 on the charts, and it did go gold. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, again, a thumbs up would be really, really, really appreciated. A subscription would be appreciated, and comments would be appreciated. So have a great afternoon, and take care of yourselves. Bye.